All right, we're going to get started. Welcome to the Avocado 1.49 release note presentation. This will be the last presentation for the year. We will have one more presentation for release 150 in the early new year before we move to quarterly releases. I'd like to introduce Isaac Ferguson again. He gave us the presentation last time. Isaac works in our sales and marketing department and will be presenting these going forward. Isaac, it's all yours.
All right. Thank you, Matthew, and good afternoon, everybody. Like Matthew said, I'll be just reviewing what's new in Avocado 1.49. I know it's only been a couple weeks since the last one, but we want to keep everybody informed and updated before the holidays. So thank you very much for joining us, and I'll get us started here. So on the agenda, the usual for these meetings, I'm going to start by talking about some new features and changes included in Avocado 1.49. And then I'll spend a bit of time talking about some bug fixes included in this new release. And then we'll end the meeting talking a bit about what to expect from us at TechShare into 2022. So we'll get started here. I want to start by reviewing our implementation routine here. We'll start rolling 1.49 into your sandboxes. Understand some of us are already there. But at that point, you'll have plenty of time to review these new features we're talking about today with your own internal team. You'll have plenty of time for questions and feedback with us. And then pending your approval, we'll go ahead and roll it into your production environment. And I will ask that if you have any questions about implementation or really any questions about what we're covering in this meeting, that you save those questions for either your account manager or implementation manager. And they'll be more than happy to sit down with you and have a more in-depth discussion on those questions at a later date. So with that said, let's dive into what's new in Avocado 1.49. I believe it is 10 features included in 1.49 to talk about today. So I'll just start right here at the top with 9580. So let's talk about 9580, facility access for non-members. What we've done is add the ability for non-members to gain door access by belonging to a facility booking. So this is for your clients that maybe aren't necessarily ready for a full membership, but they have a facility booked. They'll just need to use their barcode to gain entry through Cantaloupe, and there is a configurable buffer window for the time in which they can enter and exit within Cantaloupe. But again, that is all set up for non-members for access to facilities. Next on our list, we'll talk about some changes we made to the way forms print. Simple change for added security here. This is item 9187. So when we print our Avocado reports, each registrant's prompt response is now going to be printed on its own separate sheet. So what that means for your teams is that sensitive info will now print to individual sheets that you can review and provide to parents and clients more securely. They'll no longer be stacked on sheets of paper. You'll have these generated on their own page so you can hand them out accordingly where applicable. Next feature we'll talk about is the ability to apply Gst Tax by age. This is 9528 on our list. What we've done is we've added price group and price level functionality to packages, and we've accomplished this with package maps. And what this will allow you to do is customize the product charged on a membership package by age. So Gst Tax application by age is just one application for this feature. And that'll affect any kind of single membership, so things like your child membership, adult membership, etc. And next on the list, we'll talk about third-party rollover by unit amount. This is item 10022 on our list. With this, we've added the ability to set an external party payment request amount to be per unit, and we've added a per unit checkbox to the instance rollover contract for third-party payers. So here is an example of an external payment in the back end of Salesforce. And here's an example in the front end. This is what your front end users will see as they update those rollover contracts. And here's our per unit checkbox right there. And just one example of an application for this. We'll talk about childcare. Childcare, or really any of those things where a client isn't necessarily using the same number of days on a month-by-month basis. So if an external payment amount is $10, and the checkbox on this per unit box is selected. Let's say this client uses 20 days of childcare. The external payer will ultimately be paying $200 per unit there. And next, I want to talk about a couple different Engage changes we've made, some new features here. We'll start with item 9241. So with this, your contacts of an appropriate age that you set and customize, they can sign themselves in and out without a pickup option. And this is enabled by the enable sign-in and the self sign-in age fields on an instance. So this is an instance we've set up. Enable sign-in is selected. We chose 20 years old as the age for self sign in and out. There it is. And here I am, Tester Ferguson is ready to check in. I'm 25, so I fit that criteria. And this is the screen I'll see as I'm checking myself in and out. We won't see options for school pickup as the younger clients might see, as I'm older. And there we go. We're all set for self sign in and out for our older clientele. So more on Engage, some more check-in and out enhancements next. This is item 9403. With this feature, check-in start and end times, they'll now default to the instance start and end times. So no more scrolling to the start and end time yourself for each and every member check-in. It'll now default to the instance start and end time. And we've also added a warning that will display when a contact attempts to check in or out outside of customized buffer windows that, again, your team can configure. So here I am again. I am at the facility. I'm ready to check in at 9 a.m., but my instance, it doesn't start until 1 p.m. So I'm way too early. And when you try to check me in, you'll now see this notice. Hey, Isaac is way, way too early. He's 240 minutes before the start time. Would you like to proceed? At which point you absolutely can, or you can take whatever escalated steps you might need to, given those circumstances. Next, let's talk about some portal changes. Some great tax receipt functionality is included. This is item 7508. With this, your users can hop into the portal. They can generate and view their tax receipts online, again, from the portal on their mobile device, on their laptop, or whatever device they have. Here is the account screen. They'll just need to look for the tax receipt button here. This screen, you choose whatever relevant division and year. You click Get Tax Receipt. It'll generate right there. And then if you're hooked up to a printer, you can print it or view it all from your whatever device your clients may be logged into at home. More invoicing functionality next here, this time for facility bookings. This is item 9851. What we've done is added the ability to add facility bookings to invoices in bulk. This is accessible under Account, look for Facility Booking, and then Manage Facility Bookings. Here is my Manage Facility Booking screen. I have a specific contract selected with many different facility reservations. I look for this drop-down. I look for Invoice. Next, I will get to this screen. Here I can select all of these different reservations or specific ones as per the specific use case there. Once I have things selected as I want them, I'll get another warning. Am I sure? Yes, I am. And then finally, we get to invoice creation complete. We can go ahead and generate or view our order from here or view the invoice. A little bit more on facility management here. We'll talk about item 9874. So in this same dropdown, your users can also edit facility bookings and make notes on bookings through the facility management page all in bulk. So very similar here. This time I'm looking for the edit option in this dropdown. There it is. And again, I can select all the different bookings on this list or certain ones, whatever I need to do. And then at that point, I'll be able to make bulk edits on these facility bookings. And now I believe my last feature on the list, we'll talk about custom pick lists on the contact pages. This is item 8608. With this one, we've added the ability to add a custom pick list to the contact page in Avocado menu. Now this can be really whatever you'd like. Some applications could be dietary restrictions or t-shirt size, whatever you need. But the functionality itself is the ability to configure a custom pick list and have that right there on the contact page. So this is just one example. Say I want to record t-shirt size as I'm getting new contacts, maybe a promotion, what have you. Here is the dropdown, and you'll see this as you're creating new contacts or editing existing contacts. And I believe, yep, that's the last feature on my list. So we'll dig into bug fixes. This will be a higher level overview. More detail is in the release notes. And I will ask that if there are any questions there, reach out to support or your account manager. They will be able to help you much more in depth than I can during this meeting. So let's start here. Just a quick rundown on these bug fixes. We fixed an issue where the account histories division filter was returning blank results. Fixed an issue where instance names were being cut off in Engage, those longer instance names. That has been cleaned up. We fixed an issue where draft orders were blocking the creation of new membership orders. We fixed an issue where large numbers of childcare registrations belonging to the same order couldn't be completed properly through the Avocado menu. We fixed an issue where automatic instance rollover registrations weren't always rolling over properly. We fixed an issue with the shopping cart checkout error. Some past payments schedules were not included in the shopping cart order. That's been resolved. We fixed an issue viewing the period end accounts receivable report by generating a CSV file for download. So this 2K row preview limit does still exist. That is on the Salesforce end, but we've added this CSV filed to download and view off Salesforce. And we fixed an issue with facility bookings where existing facility bookings wouldn't function correctly when the facility pricing method was set to false. A couple more to go here. Some cleanup in the adjustment interface. We fixed an issue where instances weren't showing up in the day view on the calendar view. And there's a fix in 1.49.1 that fixed an issue when the end dates of the membership was being locked during the transfer process. So I believe that's the end of my bug fix list. Yep. So let's conclude our meeting talking about what's in development here at TechShare. Here is our standard disclaimer. I'm sure we all know it, so I'll skip through. But I do want to remind you that this is a higher level review. This is not an exhaustive list that will be coming when we all sit down again to talk about 1.50. Just a higher level review of what's coming from TechShare come 2022. So with that said, I will talk a little bit about 1.50. It is in development for the new year. In 1.50, there is a big focus on bug fixes. Some improvements coming for the POS page. We're working on some process improvements for the waitlist. We're working on new membership features, coming up with solutions for either upgrades or add-ons to existing memberships. And we're working on some discount functionality improvements. And And I believe that's all we have for this list. But again, more info is coming during our next meeting, and we're looking forward to getting 1.50 in your hands come the new year. And that's all we had to cover. So I do want to say thank you again for sitting down with us. I hope everybody has a safe and happy holiday and New Year. And I'll leave it to Matthew to give some closing thoughts.
I don't have any closing thoughts. Thank you, Isaac, very much. If there's any questions, please don't hesitate to contact your account manager, and we'll see you in the new year.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.